The new Webster's Dictionary defines automobile as a vehicle propelled by a self-contained engine and designed to run on ordinary roads. In other words, just a simple method of transportation. But nowadays, it's also a place to conduct business, because in the 80s, the yuppie years, we now have the cellular car phone.
There were car phones before, but they were bulkier and lacked the privacy that cellular phones have today. It is estimated that there are over 100,000 cellular phones in Canada, and most of those are on the road. Paul Jean, Eastern Regional Vice President of Cantel, explains the advantages for the businessman.
People are always in touch with you. You're never out of business when you're in your car. You're easy of access, you can handle your calls where you're in the car, so therefore you're fully productive and you're fully competitive also.
And the market for cellular phones can only get bigger.
First of all, we see it in miniaturization of telephones. We see the sizes of portable phone that are smaller and smaller, and the battery life, of course, is going to be longer. So therefore, we're going to see more and more people carrying their phone on a permanent basis. Now, it's not very, very far away also when we're going to see some, what we call a Buck Rogers telephone, the wristwatch telephone. Now, this is coming, and in about 10 years from now, we'll see that very frequently. So the cellular telephone will become like a permanent telephone that you'll be carrying with you all the time.
But for now, most of the cellular phones are in cars. Some are permanently set in vehicles, some are portable and can be carried in briefcases.
Now, one would imagine with all this chatting going on the highways that there'd be more car accidents. Not according to a survey done independently by the American Automobile Association. They claim that even though cellular car phone users drive twice as much as the average driver, they tend to have less accidents. This due to the fact that while on the phone, they drive slower.
In fact, there are safety advantages to the proliferation of car phones. Cellular phone companies don't usually charge the user when making emergency calls.
We also promote that the people are bringing assistance to any emergency case that could happen. And we've seen it on July the 14th when we had that major flood in Montreal where our channels were totally congestion because of the number of people that were calling for emergency. And we've seen in the traffic also dozens of people trying to help, trying to get access to telephone lines in order to assist them to call home or to call for assistance.
And with newer models that have hands-free capability and memory dialing, you can talk and your hands are still free to drive. But what about the yuppie status symbol of having a car phone? How has that affected sales?
It has definitely been for some people a status symbol, but this is what we call the early adapter. The people that are interested right at the beginning with the new technology and whatever the cost is, they're going to try it for a status symbol. But you see the installation that we're doing right now, and you really see that this has passed a long time ago. And now people are using it because they really need it.
At Auto Audio, where a lot of their clientele can be considered yuppies, we asked them about their client profile.
The customer profile has changed actually dramatically in the last 6 or 8 months. Initially, it was strictly the business guy, and now the business guy's wife wants a phone too because she's had a chance to use his car and realize what a fantastic thing it is. And so now we're finding the same guy has 1, 2, 3 phones in the same family. Just as in your home, initially you had a phone on the kitchen wall. That was it. And now many bathrooms have phones in them.
Is this a truly yuppie experience?
There's times I'm in my BMW and cruising along the road and I feel like I've died and gone to heaven, you know. It's, life is a bowl of cherries. I don't care what anybody says.
Car phones, however, can be expensive. To buy, they can start somewhere around $2,000. To lease, you're talking about $80 per month. And there is the per-minute charge to use it. If you need one for business, that's fine, and they are practical. But what if you're a status-seeking pseudo-yuppie who can't afford it? Then what do you do?
Well, we have instant status for $19.95. You look at the cars on the road and you see a guy driving along, he's got an antenna on the rear window, you know this man has made it. So what we have is we have just the antenna. He can attach the antenna to the rear window, and for all the world, it looks like he has a phone in his car. As a matter of fact, we have a number of customers that have taken handsets, home handsets, and they mount them up in between the seats, so it's, they can still hold it to their ear and make like they're talking.
For today's magazine, I'm Peter Anthony Holder.